Got a tip that you better load up on those Imanaga baseball cards. We're going to talk about him throwing, that bullpen, and who the scout was that said that he looked pretty good. We're going to talk Cody Bellinger, still known as the best fit. The Cubs aren't going to make that ransom payment to Scott Boras. The standoff continues. We'll talk about that just a little bit. But we're going to talk more about pitchers and catchers reporting. The first spring training game is just around the bend and more. Welcome to the Cubs baseball channel, everybody. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Baseball season is almost here. Go Cubs. Everybody, welcome to the Cubs baseball channel. I'm Mick Gillispie, and it is my pleasure to have you guys here for today's show. I'm excited, ready for some spring training. I will be out in Arizona, and I know a lot of you guys will be as well. Maybe we'll catch up while we're there. But March can't get here fast enough for me, and we'll just preview things until we get there. And the good news is we're closing in on baseball this week. Pitchers and catchers report this week. All right, let me get into it right now. The leak that we got that said that Shöta Imanaga is gonna be good is none other than Justin Steele from Lucedale, Mississippi. Good to see Justin Steele on the Twitter talking about Shöta Imanaga. A couple of lefties there hanging out. And he said, go to eBay and get those cards. I bet you that eBay's probably blown up with Imanaga baseball card sales. I mean, look, this tweet or X or whatever they call them now, over 1 million views. So I guess if you're a Major League Baseball player that contended last year for the Cy Young, you put something out and everybody watches it. So pretty cool to hear that, and I'm excited. And, there's been a lot of talk, and you guys get in the comment section, and we debate on here. Sometimes it's me. Sometimes Catfish comes on. We'll have Tim Wilkin come on. We'll have a bunch of other people that'll slide on too during the season. Tony Andracki from Marquee is going to be on later this week too. And I'll start bringing in our media guests. We just haven't really had much to talk about lately. But we debate, and one of the debates was, could the Cubs possibly sign another left-handed starter, Jordan Montgomery, or Blake Snell, or whoever, right? Because they've already got 3 lefties in the rotation: Jordan Wicks, Justin Steele, Shöta Imanaga. I mean, would you have 4? It seems like it would be excessive. Well, one of you guys slid in and you're like, you only pitch 5 innings anyway. And then you have like a whole bullpen of righties. And that's actually exactly right. I mean, remember last year they had to basically push Luke Little to the big leagues based on the fact that they just needed some help, left-handed help out of the bullpen. We saw Little kind of get his feet wet, and hopefully he's a guy that's ready to be not a little help, but a big help in the big leagues. And you're talking about a guy who is, I think, like 6'8", right? That's off the top of my head. Big dude with a little last name. But excited about that. I just thought, though, that was worth talking about because I've spent my entire life around baseball, and I think I have a pretty good understanding of the game. But then sometimes people say stuff, and you're like, you know what? That does make sense. I mean, I guess you could go 4 lefties this day and age and just have a bunch of righties in the bullpen, right? I don't think it's optimal. I don't think it's ideal, but it's doable. And that kind of reminded me of that. And then excited about pitchers and catchers reporting to camp this week and getting started. So that's coming up. Pitchers and catchers report this week. Then you got the first game on February 23rd. I had the date as Valentine's Day. I saw in The Athletic that they said that Patrick Mooney, our buddy, had it in there as the 15th where the Cubs are reporting. So I don't know if that changed or not, but I was told the 14th. I saw it in writing, and then now it's the 15th, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, it's this week. So I'm excited about that. And then that first game on February 23rd, where we get to look at these guys and what's going to happen. And that's what you live for in this game, to actually play. And I love spring training. You guys know I broadcasted spring training for years on Cubs.com, MLB.com, and live through all of these camps and watch these guys go from, the roster would be 70 some years or over that, and then dwindle all the way down to 24, 25, 26, whatever, it was then. And it's exciting. There's going to be some battles. Bullpen, I think there's some spots out there. Obviously, who's going to take that third base role, first base? And if Cody Bellinger doesn't end up signing with this team, there's going to be a lot more battles. Center field's going to be a battle with Pete Crow Armstrong, and Mike Tauchman's not going to want to give up that spot. Alexander Canario is going to want to come in there and force Craig Counsell's hand to play him some in left, some in center. He can do both. So it's going to be fun as we get going into camp, and I can't wait to talk to you guys every day about those battles. Now, this is the part of the show that some of you guys hate, and I don't blame you, because everyone is so tired about talking Cody Bellinger. Scott Boras obviously doesn't want to sign until he gets the contract that he wants. I don't think the Cubs are going to guarantee $200 million. I think that they're more in the 5-year range. I think they could go 5 years, 25 million average, maybe options to 6, 7, and 8, but team options. They're not going to have player options there. And he's not getting the money from other places. The Cubs, though, according to most of the experts, are the best fit, just because you got first base, you got center field, DH. He played on the team last year. Everybody loves him. I love him. I think you guys do too. This was a couple weeks ago, or actually it was like last week, we heard where they were saying that maybe the Phillies would be a destination, right? Well, how about this? Brandon Marsh, to have arthroscopic knee surgery, he's going to miss 3 to 4 weeks, should be better by opening day, right? So he's one of their outfielders, but Phillies management's like, yeah, we have a spot here, but we're not going out and investing in a free agent, like as far as like long-term plan. I mean, they pretty much laid it out that that's not part of what they want to do. Now, that would surprise everyone, and it wouldn't surprise me if a team did exactly what they said they weren't going to do. But I think money-wise, and I think where the Phillies are, they would probably be better suited spending that money on pitching and, especially in that division that they're in, than adding, Bellinger for 8 years. I mean, in 8 years, that's a lot of years and a lot of guaranteed money that he would want, right? So just thought I'd throw that up there. The Blue Jays just, they just signed a pitcher, actually made it official. They've spent a lot of money. Jeff Passan felt like they're a team desperate enough to pay Bellinger more than what anyone with a reasonable mind would want to pay a guy and expect that contract to be lived up to on the back end. He said maybe they're desperate. The Cubs aren't desperate enough. I don't know that the Blue Jays are desperate enough. I don't know that a front office wants to get into a spot where ownership's upset with them about a deal that they made. And ownership may not even let that happen, especially when you look at the players that they have that they need to sign in the future. So we'll find out what happens, but it was definitely, it's always worth talking about because Cody Bellinger was the best player on the team last year. But let's not stick on it too much. Let's talk about spring training again. And talked about this. Pitchers and catchers report this week. First game on February 23rd out there in Mesa, Arizona. Going to be fun. And this, as you guys probably have seen by now, is the 2024 spring training baseball hat. Now, I have a few of the spring training hats, and I give New Era a lot of credit on trying to come up with a new look each year. And I love the color of this hat. I always loved the powder blue Cubs gear. I remember when they used to wear it. You'd have my baseball cards back in the 80s. I can see Rhino wearing one of those jerseys with the pinstripes, not like this, but the powder blue. And Dennis Eckersley and stuff like that. But I don't know if I'm a fan of this hat. I mean, I like that bear, kind of that throwback bear. I see him a lot on things at spring training, including outside of Sloan Park. But I like him better with the circle around him. Like I like him better when he's kind of has like the red circle. I love the spring training logo on the side of the hat. So I don't know that this is one that I would get, but I do like the fact that they're doing something different. It's just not my different. Now, I'm going to tell you guys this right now. You probably see me wearing it all the time. I love the City Connect hat. Love the jersey. Love the City Connect gear. All that Wrigley Field stuff, I'm thumbs up on. And I can't wait to see what they do with that this year, if they switch it up, if they change it. But I love it. I also love the circle bear logo, I call it, where this guy may be inside of a circle popping out. And I also just like the head of the bear. But with all of that said, blue hat, red C is still the best logo in baseball hats. And this logo right here is a close second. I love them both. Maybe this one's first and the just the plain C second, but I love them. So that's where I am right now. I know that you guys are going to want to get in that comment section and talk about your favorite logo, and look, even post it in there so I can see what you're talking about. But the obscure stuff is still cool with me. So who knows? This may be the only time that we ever see Walking Bear as the hat logo on like an official hat. But I don't think they'll wear these in the game. They normally just wear their blue hats in the game, and then on St. Patrick's Day they'll wear the green ones. But they'll probably use them in BP and wear them around the facility and practice in them, and it'll be pretty good weather out in Arizona for that this year. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. I want to remind you that you can get some great gear at the Tennessee Smokies team store. They have just been great as we've been building this channel. They've been a part of it. SmokiesBaseball.com/store, and go on there right now and pick up some great gear. They've got autographed memorabilia. They've got game used jerseys and bats and balls and all of that stuff, plus championship gear. The Smokies will have their team at the spring training complex on March the 8th to get their championship rings. And it's the first time that there's been a Smokies championship ring in 45 years. So celebrate that at SmokiesBaseball.com/store. I'm Mick Gillispie. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Go Cubs, and we'll talk to you tomorrow unless something breaks.